Hello one and all! This is my review, reaction, and cut content discussion of Arifureta Season 3, Episode 8, and holy mother of God above, this is a fun place to start. Oh god, yeah, they hate each other. They really, really hate each other, which is just so absolutely hilarious considering how lovey-dovey they were last episode. I mean, I think I mentioned this in my last video, but just I loved the dichotomy. I loved how they framed the episode. So it started off with them being all lovey-dovey and ended with them wanting to murder one another. And now we're starting this episode with them, you know, really, really wanting to murder one another. Which, yeah, pretty obviously is the effect of Labyrinth. It's basically testing their bonds. Like, okay, I'm gonna make you all hate one another, and let's just see how you do in this boss fight. It is twisted. It is absolutely twisted. Again, I said in my last video, but everyone always says, oh, Milady, she's the most twisted and evil of the liberators. You know, she did all these awful things. Her labyrinth was just torture, pure torture. But in my opinion, this labyrinth, way, way worse by like a factor of 10. Like, everything in here is just so absolutely and overwhelmingly messed up. I mean, I get it's supposed to be like one of the last labyrinths you actually, you know, finish, so by this point it should be like really insanely strong, but even Hajime, who is just overwhelmingly broken, is kind of struggling with this one because it's just really testing things like his bonds, like his, well, I was gonna say that it's testing things that aren't physical. It is, however, testing things that are willpower based, which is Hajime's specialty. So, you know, he's not doing terrible, but he's certainly struggling more than he has with past labyrinths. Alright, but anyway, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, for the record, it's actually said in the light novel, the only reason why they don't kill each other, they actually go to it. Like, he like, draws his gun, she starts casting her spells, and then she's like, wait a second. My instincts are telling me not to murder him. Same for me. And it's actually a really cool spell, because it's not like it changed their memories. If Hajime looks back, he's like, hey, I was making out with Yui like 5 freaking minutes ago. So why do I want to kill her now? But those same memories will be tainted. He'll look back at them and they will just take them off for some reason. And I think that's certainly understandable. I mean, there are people I know who I have very good memories with, but because of how things ended in our friendships, those memories are not pleasant memories. Those memories are soured. So yeah, fully understand how this can be. Yeah, she is not much better. In fact, I actually love this so much. It actually says, Hajime felt a hatred for Shia nearly as great as his hatred for Yui. And the important thing about this labyrinth is it's actually inverting emotions. So therefore, you know, that's just how much Hajime loves Shia, nearly as much as he loves Yui. So, you know, good for them. Seriously. Again, this is the reason why this is my favorite fights in this entire series. It's because it really shows who these characters are and what their bonds are. Like right here, holy mother. Yeah. Koki is defending Hajime, which I think anybody who's even, you know, somewhat familiar with the series can see that and be like, oh, something's wrong. Something has seriously, seriously gone wrong. In fact, it's even said that Koki looked at Hajime with something akin to worship. He is genuinely worshipping Hajime, which also means, you know, he truly and absolutely hates the man. Meanwhile, Hajime, my boy Hajime, looks at Koki and feels nothing. And people speculate all the time like, oh, Koki's so annoying, Hajime must hate him. No, Hajime doesn't care. Hajime literally does not freaking care. And I do think that is important because some people say, oh, this is a revenge series. It's not. Anyone who knows the series knows it is not a revenge series. Hajime didn't go after revenge because he didn't care. He genuinely did not care about his classmates, even the one who tried to kill him. He was instead entirely focused on his goal of getting back to Japan. So, you know, whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna do. He didn't care. Oh, that is terrifying. I mean, I admittedly, yes, graphics for this aren't spectacular. I was never expecting them to be spectacular. They're literally fighting a billion cockroaches, but still, those swarms of cockroaches is just unpleasant to look at. Genuinely unpleasant to look at. And that is fully intentional. Here we go. Here we freaking go. Yes. God above, just please, animators, do not mess this up. This is Tio's episode. Do not mess this up. For the love of all that is good and all in this world, do not mess this up. Yeah, so basically the trial is, can you work with people you truly hate? Can you look back on the memories, even though they are tainted with hatred, and be like, okay, I remember working with this person. I really, really want to murder them right now, but I remember working with them. Therefore, they are clearly my friends. Therefore, something's going on, and I need to coordinate with them, as difficult as that might be. I mean, this is definitely a trial I would not pass, seriously. There's somebody I really, really need to work with to get things done right now, and I genuinely don't know if I can. Yeah, this is the other messed up part of this trial. While they're looking at their friends with hatred, they're looking at the cockroaches, the thing they hate more than anything else in the entire freaking goddamn world, as if they are a cute litter of puppies. That is a direct quote from the light novel. Even Hajime is like, oh my god, they are so absolutely adorable. Seriously, look at how just charmed Yui is looking at them. That is a terrifying, terrifying description. Here we go. Here's my boy. Here is my boy. Do it. Do it. You gotta say it, man. You gotta say it. Yeah, that's Hajime. I mean, I love him so much. Like, his philosophy has always been, if you're my enemy, I will kill you. And while he does love all these cockroaches, like, overwhelmingly so, he is, you know, he does still recognize them as being his enemies, so he's gonna kill them despite finding them absolutely adorable. Which also means that if these, you know, cockroaches were actually a cute litter of puppies who we had to kill to pass the trial, he would do that too. Yeah, that's messed up. That is genuinely messed up, but, you know, Hajime's philosophy really works well with this trial. Alright, looks like the opening is still the same. I'm curious if they're going to change it for next episode, because, you know, next episode is the second half of the season, and most of what we see in the opening is related to the first half of the season. I think it would make a lot of sense. But anyway, though, episode 8, Grab Hold of Hope. I mentioned this in my last video, but last episode was the first time that they split a chapter of the light novel in two for this season. So far, every episode has been one single chapter light novel, but this chapter is really freaking busy, so thankfully they decided to split in half. I was honestly worried they were going to cut out the whole slime trial from last episode, really rush this boss fight, and then just go straight to the epilogue of it, which would have been very disappointing. Thankfully, that is not the case, because really, this is a fantastic fight, and I'm so glad they're giving it the attention it needs. Also, I'm just now realizing that on the left side of the screen, that gun barrel, it actually has the different episodes in it. So he's currently firing episode 8, and then he's going to fire episode 9 after that. Oh, that's such a cool touch. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are exactly 8 bullet holes on the right side of the screen. Does that change every episode? I definitely need to keep an eye on that for next episode. That would be a very cool detail if it is. Alright, so, yeah, going back to the episode, they need to kill these giant cockroaches, even though they find them so absolutely adorable, and thankfully that's something Hajime and Yui are very good at. Oh, God! That was, I gotta rewatch that again. Jesus Christ. I mean, this episode doesn't look good. These monsters, this animation doesn't look good, but it is amusing and big and boisterous and still such an improvement over season 1 and maybe season 2 as well. Yeah, I'm gonna say better than season 2. Oh, that explosion. And just the way he fell seems so lazy. Beautiful. It genuinely beautiful how they're just like mourning the fact they have to murder all these people, all these cockroaches, while they just hate each other so much. Kawaii. Yeah, I think Suzu probably hated the cockroaches more than anyone, so she is truly and utterly enamored by them and really wants to let them inside her barrier. Which she just broke! Yeah, bad. It's actually even said that Shizuku wanted to cut off Suzu's braids in that moment. Which, brutal. Seriously brutal. Yeah, Tio is the calm and level-headed person in this fight. No, I'm not kidding! It's weird! It is genuinely weird. Oh, she is amazing. She really is amazing. Yeah, Kaori literally turned her blade on her because she's like, Tio's being calm, Tio's being reasonable, Tio is leading us. She clearly can't be Tio. Something is seriously wrong here. Yeah, that's the favorite part. Like, she's briefly shocked by how rude everyone is, but then she realizes, oh yeah, I have been a hopeless pervert for pretty much the entire time they've known me, so I do kind of get why they wouldn't really respect me and why they'd be super confused about me being calm and reasonable right now. Yeah, seriously. Koki is someone entirely ruled by emotion, so he thinks his friends are absolutely insane to want to fight the cockroaches, who are currently on their way to kill them. Yeah, this is not a good trial for Koki, I gotta say. This is Shizuku's trial. This is absolutely Shizuku's trial because she is, with some minor exceptions, a very logical person. She's able to see through things. She's able to, you know, fight with instinct instead of ruled by emotion like Koki is. I love Koki right now. Nagumo will take care of everything. Like I said, Koki right now, fully and completely worshipping Hajime and believing he's invincible, believing that he can solve all their problems for them. Oh, God above. I really just want an entire episode of Koki just sitting in the dark, thinking about this moment, having flashbacks to what he said and how he felt about Hajime, and wanting to die. Amazing. Yeah, this is both the twerp and the sadist. So she is not actually trying to fight the cockroaches right now. She's just trying to get to Hajime and Yui. And that's actually really interesting because the light novel says, basically, she hates Hajime and Yui more than she likes the cockroaches, which, you know, again, reverse it, means that Shia's love for Hajime and Yui is greater than her hatred for cockroaches, which is, yeah, that says a lot right there, honestly. Also, just love the green fluid that just explodes out of them whenever they die. Yeah, Kaori's got a lot of mixed feelings right now because, I mean, don't be wrong, she is insanely powerful in this moment, but it's because of borrowed power. Because, she literally had Hajime tear out the soul of an angel and stick hers inside of it. So it's not really her power. She can't really say, like, oh, I'm strong. She can say this body is strong, but not herself. Though that is, Tio's also bringing a good point now. Kaori largely fought against those feelings of negativity back in the underwater labyrinth. She thought, okay, I'm not worthy to stand by Hajime's side. And then she's like, okay, you know what? I will. I'm going to fight. I'm going to try. I'm not going to give up. She went so far as to, like I said, steal a freaking angel's body for herself. Give up her own body just to have that power so she could fight. And again, Tio is giving the pep talk here. Best girl, Tio. Yeah, so not only did Tio just actually fully read Kaori's emotions and feelings in the middle of combat, but she gave her the best possible pep talk to cheer her up. Tio is amazing. I'm just going to keep pausing over and over again to say that Tio is amazing, because that is basically the theme of this entire episode. They could have titled it, Tio is amazing, yeah, I know, we're shocked too. Oh, thank God, they're including this line. They're including this line right here. Yes. Oh, God, Tio's praise for Shia. I love it so much. They love peace and make for poor fighters. Tio? Have you seen the Halia tribe recently? I don't think that's actually true anymore. I think they were always sadists just waiting to come to the surface, but her point still stands. Yeah, exactly. Tio didn't join Hajime and Yui because she's like, alright, I want to go kill some things. Give me a hammer and I will go fight. She's joined Hajime and Yui because she wanted to join Hajime and Yui, and she fights because that is the price to be at their side. To stand next to them, she needs to be not necessarily their equal, but on the same level as them. In fact, let's not forget her actual dream, her perfect illusion world last episode. She didn't have to become strong. She was able just to follow Hajime and Yui without fighting, without gaining strength, and she rejected that because she knew that that wasn't possible. There'd be no way for her to stand beside them without being able to fight beside them. Here we go. Here we freaking go! The real hero is Shia. Oh, thank you, God! I'm so glad I kept that in. I mean, wasn't that even just a thing, like, before they entered the labyrinth, Shia talked about how she wanted to, the episode was called The Hero's Welcome, whatever, and Shia, talked about how her mother wanted her, how she wanted to be a hero for her mother, for her people, and now Tio, one of the oldest and wisest people in the entire world, is literally saying that there is nobody more worthy of being called a hero than freaking god-dang Shia. Even Hajime isn't worthy of that title. Which, come to think of it, Hajime is certainly not what I would consider to be a hero by any stretch of the imagination. Also, I do love this line, I forgot to mention earlier. Even though she was a hopeless pervert everyone currently hated, no one could ignore the weight behind Tio's words. Love that line. Especially because it implies that everyone hates her right now, meaning that nobody actually hates her in real life, outside of this trial. So despite being a massive pervert, everyone does actually still like Tio. Yeah, Tio hates them. You might think, oh, Tio's able to overcome this trial because she managed to undo the brainwashing, reversing magic, whatever, but no, absolutely freaking not. Tio is just that goddamn strong, strong enough that she can actually overcome her hatred and be a calm, rational person. Yeah, what does it matter if I hate all of you and want you dead? I know my duty. I know my god dang freaking duty. God, I love Tio so much. Again, I'm going to keep saying this whole episode, but yeah. So basically, while Tio is a hopeless, perverted masochist, she is also a woman with 500 years of experience training, meditating, and preparing for this very fight against the labyrinth, against God, against everything. And importantly, the Dragonborn, their big thing is reason and logic. In fact, the creed of the Dragonborn is literally, our eyes exist to pierce through falsehood and see the truth. Our claws exist to tear down walls and destroy the malice within. Our fangs exist to bite through our weaknesses, our anger, and our hate. For when we forget our passion, we are no more than beast. But so long as we wield the sword of reason, we are dragon men! I wasn't expecting that hype for it, but yes, God, I love it. So yeah, Tio, her race, their thing is logic. Their thing is thinking things through. Their thing is not being swayed by emotions, because the moment they allow themselves to lose control, they become no more than beast. But instead, they fight with reason. That is their entire creed. And, Tio has certainly not demonstrated that up to this point with her, masochistic tendencies. But, right now in this fight, in order to overcome her feelings of hatred for everyone, in order to focus on her logic, she is suppressing those emotions. She is suppressing her own masochistic tendencies, and it has become, as they will soon call her, Big Sis Tio. God, I love Big Sis Tio. I mean, yeah, seriously, Kaori currently hates her, but in this moment, even she is charmed by Tio. That is how impressive she is. I mean, Hajime actually even says, Tio is actually the perfect woman. I just happened to break her. Yeah, right there. Actually says, light novel, Kaori hates Shizuku pretty much as she hates Hajime, which again, reverse means that she loves Shizuku as much as Hajime, but still, when she saw Shizuku in danger, she rushed out to help her. In fact, in the light novel, it was actually even more interesting because she was nowhere near Shizuku. Tio, Koki, Ryu, Suzu, they were all pretty close to her, but as soon as she saw that Shizuku was in danger, she rushed forward to help her because that's what her instincts told her to do. They told her that Shizuku was someone she truly did care for. And Shizuku, like I said, is not someone who normally is swayed by their emotions, so even though she feels only hatred for Kaori right now, she's able to, look back and be like, alright, I know I'm being messed with, I know my emotions are reversed, I know that Kaori is someone I truly do care for. Oh god, fighting back to back! Love these girls! Absolutely love these girls, seriously. Alright, so Koki is actually managing to fight. I can't remember if he managed to fight in the light novel or not, though I know he struggled a whole lot with this challenge. Alright, there is the B team done. This is actually interesting because, light novel, they do swapping back and forth a bit, but this time they focus entirely on the B team first, which I think is great since it lets us focus on the A team for the rest of this fight. Yeah, again, Hajime, you're trying to shoot at cockroaches. There are literally 1 billion of them here, and you're trying to shoot them with bullets. What happened to the flam rock, the tar thing that burns 3,000 degrees Celsius or whatever? Or nukes? How about freaking nukes? Oh, right, they're cockroaches. Nukes won't work on them, so yeah, I'm going with flaming tar. Napalm, something better than freaking bullets. Seriously, if you're gonna use bullets, use them on the big guys, not the small guys. Every move you make is so cute. But die! Love this battle, seriously. Yeah, he dropkicked that dude. Fully dropkicked that dude. In fact, at this point in the light novel, there's only one, big king cockroach, and then after they defeat them, a bunch more pop up. Oh, okay, I was wrong. That's cockroach magic right there. That's good old cockroach magic. I thought that was Yui's magic, but nope. That's the cockroach's version of disintegration. Basically like rot, essentially. Here we go. Oh, that's actually a fairly decent looking dragon. Certainly better than anything we've seen in this episode. Yeah, here we go. Oh, God, I love that. Yui's 5-headed dragon attack. Let's see. Wind, ice, fire, lightning, and stone. There we go. There's the stone dragon, which literally has the power to petrify her enemies. Oh, that's cool. Love that. Light novel, a little less effective, only petrified some of its limbs, which was able to replace by absorbing mini cockroaches, but, oh God, that looks so fantastic. Yeah, also, Yui's 5-headed dragon spell is... It's a weird one, as it is essentially gravity magic. She creates like a core around the center, a gravity core around the center of the spell, which keeps it compressed and allows her to, direct it around like a dragon. I don't really know how she gives it like dragon faces and whiskers and scales and claws, but Yui is undoubtedly a freaking magic genius. Yeah, really. So Yui, she's not trying to kill Hajime, but she's certainly not going out of her way to protect him in this fight because, yeah, she really hates him right now. That's the whole point of this labyrinth. Okay, so we're still doing that. Yeah, despite the cockroach being petrified, he's able to heal himself using the power of other cockroaches. That was actually a pretty cool effect right there. I did like that. Yeah, here we go, rot magic, which Hajime's instincts tell him very clearly, don't try to tank the attack, run. Run very, very quickly. Oh, I love that. Yeah, literally rotted things away. Yeah, and just like Yui wasn't going out of her way to protect Hajime, Hajime is not going out of his way to protect Yui, and if she gets hit by one of his attacks, so be it. She is quite literally unkillable, or at least incredibly, incredibly hard to kill. Don't forget, she has like super duper regeneration powers. Oh, I love that, seriously. They don't even flinch. Like, the attacks get launched and they fire immediately because even though they hate each other, they also do still trust each other in this combat. Okay, so that's a very, very strange sentence. You're an apostle of God. He's not literally an apostle of God. This isn't like the true form of the apostles. If you cut up open Calvary's apostle body, there's not going to be a cockroach underneath it. But this is an approximation of the apostles. Basically, the liberators made this be like, okay, so if you keep doing these trials, eventually you're probably going to have to fight an apostle. I don't think they were expecting someone to have already fought one before now, but and we need you to be prepared for it. We're going to show you how the apostles fight. They fly around, they have disintegration magic, they can heal themselves, all things which, the cockroach can also do. So it's a good approximation of that fight. Even the cockroaches themselves are supposed to mirror the feathers that the angels, the apostles, can use and fire at their opponents. Yeah, right there. That perfect dodge. They both knew what the other person would do without saying anything. They are still on the same freaking page. Oh, that was impressive. I don't recall that being in the light novel, but yeah, she reversed gravity so that their rod attacks actually bounced back on them. That was very impressive. Again, perfect coordination. She's shooting fireball magic at Hajime, and he's, opening up portals so they get redirected and hit the enemies instead. There was no, communication. They still hate each other, but they still have this absolute and complete trust in one another. Also, importantly, that spell, I believe it was that spell, it's in light novel you refers to it as fireball, which might make you think, oh, that's like the lowest level fire magic, but Yui is so strong she can make it like OP and broken. No, that is what's it called? Azura Flame, Azura Blaze, the strongest fire spell in existence, which Yui then repurposed, remade, redesigned, whatever, and turned it into an attack that can be rapid fired, and named it Fireball after the lowest level fire spell because she thought it was funny. And yes, it is. Yeah, that's the crazy thing right now. Like, this entire fight, Yui's been mentally creating a new spell in her head while battling all these other monsters and dealing with her reverse feelings for Hajime. Yes, that is how broken and brilliant Yui actually freaking is. But yeah, that's also the reason why she's only been using fairly basic magic. Yes, for Yui, this is fairly basic magic and nothing too complex. Oh god, I love this part right here. Yes, perfect coordination without communication. Basically, they both realize, without saying a single word, okay, I'm better at this, you're better at this, let's swap places. Because on one hand, you have the cockroaches trying to cast a big old spell, and Hajime has the power to shoot out the core of spells and fully nullify them. Whereas on the other hand, all the other cockroaches are planning this big, massive attack, which Hajime isn't good at, dealing with a bunch of opponents like that at once. But Yui is, so she can cast magic and beat them. Also, I'm not sure if you've seen that spell before, but it's a black hole. Yui literally just basically made a black hole right there, which can absorb enemy attacks. Yeah, so the spell is broken. Yeah, it is absolutely a broken spell right here. Seriously, one of my favorites in this series. But in order for her to cast it, she needs 20 seconds of complete and utter focus. Oh, no. God, okay. My bad. So the spell is broken. They're referring to the actual reversal of emotions. Not fully broken, as he still thinks that Yui is a cocky brat who gets on his nerves, but he no longer is filled with, overwhelming hatred for her. And I am actually curious, the doesn't say, but I'm curious, is this a matter of timing, where, if you survive long enough in this fight, the spell will naturally wear off? Or is it more a factor of, hey, if you're able to actually work with this person, you're actually able to overcome the spell's effects and coordinate and all of that, then it will naturally just dissolve on its own? I'm not entirely sure. Might be a bit of both. Yep, and he made her cry. Hajime made Yui cry. Can you believe it? Because, oh god, the reaction. Huh? That's how you react? Hajime believed it. Hajime fully freaking believed it. She was just teasing him, and he was supposed to be mad, but he just saw her smile after the prank, and he fell in love all over again. Yeah, so these two are great together. I really do love them together. Okay, so Limit Break is a skill that multiplies a person's stats by a factor of 3, and it's something only the hero should actually have, but Hajime has it anyway because of freaking course he does. But then Limit Break Overload is a boost onto that multiplies all his stats by a factor of 5. That is an insanely broken skill, and in fact, if Koki were to use that skill, he would arguably be as strong as Hajime, at least in terms of stats, not an actual fighting ability. Though the big issue with this skill is it only lasts for a little bit, like a minute or two, and then once the spell is worn off, that's it. You're basically fully incapable of moving for a very, very long time. Also, I understand why they aren't showing it, but they are also cutting out one of the most insane parts of this entire fight. Basically, Hajime wasn't shooting at one of those, he was shooting with two of those, and not only was he able to fire with such precision that he could hit the cockroach kings, but he was able to reflect the bullets off one another to hit the cockroaches at angles they wouldn't see coming. Yes, my man Hajime can ricochet bullets coming out of a Gatling gun. That is how insane his precision is. Yeah, all the cockroaches came out because they can feel, okay, something is very, very wrong right here, and we gotta end this fight as soon as freaking possible. In fact, Light Elven says the cockroaches all come flying off every surface in such insane numbers that looks like the room is shrinking, like the room is coming in on them because literally every surface was covered in them. Yeah, so this is, I don't really like how they aren't explaining this all that well, but basically the trial of this labyrinth, the challenge of this trial isn't to kill all the cockroaches because that would be, literally impossible for anyone besides Yui. Instead, the point is to find the source of it, to find where these cockroaches are coming out of. There must be some, factory or something somewhere in this room, and the goal is to track that down and destroy it. Just like the goal is to, track down God and kill him, not just fight apostles endlessly, because God can make more and more apostles endlessly. However, Hajime is just fully ignoring that logic and instead has decided, alright, I'm just gonna kill all of them because that seems way easier and I don't feel like listening to you, Miss Haltina, creator of this labyrinth. Yeah, it actually says the cockroaches come down in such numbers and mass that it's heavier than the ocean itself. That's how much pressure is on Hajime and Yui right now. In fact, the cockroaches actually break through the barrier and almost destroy Hajime's body while he's in the process of protecting Yui. It's genuinely very close whether or not this thing's actually going to work. Beautiful. Yes, Divine Purgatory. A spell that literally impedes on the realm of the gods. Not joking, that's what the light novel says. And when she starts to activate it, all the cockroaches who are literally programmed to fight till the end start fleeing because they can tell this is bad. This is a very, very bad spell. Yeah, so Divine Purgatory, I'm sure they're going to explain a little bit here, it's just such an absolutely amazing spell because it has three components to it. First off is gravity magic, then the Azure Blaze, and then spirit magic. Basically what Yui does is take 10 Azure Blazes, like I said, the strongest fire spell in existence, and use gravity magic to compress them into a fine, fine point right in her hand. And then, before she casts it, she applies spirit magic coal, to it, which basically lets her decide who the spell affects and who it doesn't. So she's able to basically kill all the cockroaches without hurting any of the trees or any of her friends. A fairly appropriate spell given that the whole purpose of this trial is to be able to trust your friends. So she's still able to recognize, Koki and the rest of them as, well, not her friends, but not her enemies. So good for her. Honestly, this whole scene does remind me of Blue Exorcist. Anyone seen the scene where Rin activates the blue flames to kill, was it the King of Rot or something? It spreads across the entire mountain, destroying the infection, but not actually hurting anybody, any humans. It is such a great scene. Seriously, I love that. Yeah, like I said, the whole point of this trial was to find the source, find God, essentially, and kill him. But they didn't feel like doing that, so they just destroyed literally everything in the entire room. I'm not even sure what the source is or what it looked like. Time to eat. Oh, that's a terrifying expression. And, Yui needs to suck blood because that spell used up a whole lot of mana and she is drained. And also because she wants to, use this as a show of affection with Hajime because, yeah, this girl's in love. This girl is madly, madly in love with him. Yeah, this trial has permanently scarred them, and not for the reason you think. Yes, Tio's growth, Tio's maturity was just so out of character for her that everyone is just still seriously freaked out by it. And now the trial's over, now that she doesn't need to stay focused and prim and proper and all that, she is perfectly happy to go back to being our lovable masochistic pervert. Never change, Tio. Never change. Interesting, they kept that the same. Though, curiously, in the light novel, there's actually a break here because, like I said, limit break overload seriously destroyed Hajime's body, so he needs some time to rest. And it's only once he's done resting and stands up that the door to the next chamber opens, that the labyrinth itself is able to tell, like, okay, now he's ready to come through. It was Hajime, don't worry. There's literally nothing they could throw at you that'd be worse than that. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful! Love this place! Oh good, they're actually including this scene, thank God. Because this is just such an absolutely cool detail right here, I love it. Well... okay, I think they're simplifying this a bit too much right here. Yeah, it's basically this entire garden, the end of the labyrinth, is on top of the giant tree they entered. The only problem is, they didn't see this garden when they were riding on Fenrir. In fact, they didn't see this tree at all. And they're not entirely sure how this is being done, how an entire half of the tree, which can be seen from the ground, is not visible from the sky. I mean, Yui throws out some suggestions right here and she sounds confident, but in the light novel, she is way more floored because she can't figure out how somebody would cast a spell of this insanely massive size. It defies her understanding of magic, and given that Yui is a magical genius, she's a little humbled in this moment. Tio too. Okay. I don't think the light novel described it as looking that realistic. Like, it was definitely like, oh, the roots, a face came out of the tree. I kind of assumed it was like, you know, a face made of wood and bark, not like a fully realized person coming out of there. Though it is still essentially a hologram. Yeah, seriously, she's like, okay, so you did it, congratulations! I am sorry. I am really, really sorry I put you through that, and I hope the aphrodisiac slime wasn't, you know, too awful for all of you! But she did believe it was necessary to test their bonds and show them the strength of their bonds so that they would be able to overcome the gods down the road. And that's why I tried to trick you all into having a grand old orgy to show you the strength of bonds. This girl's messed up. This girl's genuinely messed up. Yeah, evolution magic is genuinely the best possible magic you can get in this world because it is compatible with everyone. It's basically just an all-around upgrade to everything. Like, this is mentioned a few times before, but there is affinities with different spell types. For example, was it creation magic Hajime got in the first labyrinth? Yui is not compatible with that at all, so she's never really done anything with it and never really will do anything with it. Same thing, like if Shia, Tio, Shizuku, any of them, you know, finish that labyrinth, they'd get that ancient magic, but it wouldn't really affect them in any meaningful way. And for the rest of the labyrinths, the rest of the trials, Hajime isn't compatible with those spells either. I mean, I think he is able to use them to imbue them into his artifacts, but he can't actually cast the spells himself. So yeah, evolution magic, you don't have to worry about that. It basically can upgrade literally any power in the entire world. Right off the bat, Yui says that she can use it just on its surface to double the power of all of her spells, whereas Hajime says that thanks to he's able to imbue more spells into artifacts. Before, he could imbue maybe like 1 or 2 spells into each one, but now he can imbue several. He doesn't give an exact number, but it is a lot more, meaning that every artifact he creates is now way, way more powerful. In fact, we might see in the next episode, he's going to upgrade Shizuku's sword and it becomes just the most insanely broken weapon in the entire world, thanks to evolution magic. Interestingly enough, in the light novel at this point, Hajime is really, really bored, and Yui, Shia, and Kaori need to hold him back so he doesn't start shooting at the stone pillar in front of him to just get the proof so he can freaking leave and go to bed. This right here, though, this gets his attention. The true worth of evolutionary magic. Yeah, here we go. These are the ancient magics Hajime currently has. Creation magic, that was the first labyrinth. Gravity magic, that was the second. Spirit magic, that was the one that he got on the Holy Mountain after he blew up the church. Metamorphosis magic, that's the one he doesn't currently have, but Free does have. It's how he's managed to upgrade all of his monsters. Spatial magic, though, that was the underwater labyrinth. No, wait, spatial magic was the volcano. Regeneration magic was the underwater labyrinth. Yes, concept magic. Basically, those 6 spells represent 6 fundamental rules, pillars of reality. And if you're able to combine all 6 of them and upgrade them to 1 level greater, you basically have the power of a god right there and can literally do anything, so long as you have the right willpower. Oh, thank the gods above. This is a magic literally born of willpower, so as long as your will is strong enough, you can do anything. Which, very helpful when you have someone like Hajime, whose main attribute is his insanely overpowered willpower. So, awesome. This is the perfect spell for him. Yeah, meanwhile, Liberators themselves, the people who literally built all these labyrinths and battle against the gods, they could only cast concept magic 3 times. There were only 3 times in their entire lives where they were able to combine their powers together and create something that was truly godlike. And one of those times, they were passed out drunk. No, I'm not kidding. Light novel literally says, yeah, we were all drinking, complaining, and then we woke up the next day and this thing was on the table. I think it'll work. God, I love the Liberators. Here we go, right here. This is the start of Hajime's journey. Well, this is the start. This is the first step he's truly taken towards getting home. The compass of eternal paths. Ever-guiding compass. That works too. There we go. It might seem like a little bit too on the nose. Like, is she like talking directly to Hajime? No. In her reference, she's referring to the world of the gods. A place Liberators try to go to kill God, but things didn't work out for them. So what she's saying is, like, you can use this compass to find God, and then, use another artifact to kill God. But what Hajime's hearing is, hey, dude, you can finally go home. Or at least it's the first step towards going home. Wait, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? They're ending it here? They're still, god dang it, above. Okay, that ticked me off. That genuinely ticked me off, because we're skipping, alright. Am I ticked off? Yes, I'm absolutely ticked off, but at the same time, I am glad that they're gonna, spend the rest of this scene, they're gonna, spend the start of next episode going over the rest of this scene, because it is absolutely a scene that we need to see. It is one of the most important scenes in this entire freaking series, and I guess it does also make sense because the next chapter is actually a fairly short one and involves a lot of characters who aren't too important to the story, so might end up cutting them out. Yeah, alright, that makes sense. Next episode, Changing Heart, which is, Changing Heart. That's the name of the next chapter of the light novel. Alright, so Ever-Guiding Compass, this thing is so insanely broken. It is such a cool thing. You might just think like, oh, it can point you towards, like, if you're looking for your phone, you can use it and like, oh, there's my phone. But it's actually way cooler than that. Like, at one point there's a chapter where they're like, hey, she was like, hey, point me towards my innocence. Very, very weird phrasing, but it points her towards a rabbit girl the same age as her who is not part of the Holly tribe and is still, innocent in that she hasn't, gone on mass killing sprees before. She has not been tainted by Hajime and the world and violence and all that. She is, she is innocent. She is what Shia was like as an innocent person. It's, like I said, an insanely cool artifact. I really do love it. Hope we see them messing around with it next episode. And now they got evolution magic and concept magic. Though, hey, let's take some bets. Who here thinks that everyone in the party managed to earn evolution magic? And if not, who didn't get it? So in order to figure that out, you really have to ask yourself, okay, who actually managed to overcome the trials and who just got dragged along? I don't think it's going to be that hard to figure out. Right, yeah, this is a good episode. They skipped some bits, which I would like to see, but overall, I think they really got the point across, Tio, a reliable big sister, leading the party, saying just wonderful things about everyone, giving the best pep talks. Love her. Absolutely freaking love her. Meanwhile, Hajime and Yui managed to fight, despite absolutely hating one another. Like, seriously, we didn't actually get to Hajime and Yui until, 10 minutes of the episode. Interesting. Anyway, though, they're able to fight, even though they hate one another, but still have perfect and complete coordination and trust in one another, despite all their bickering and complaining. It's great. I love them together. They're fantastic. And then we got evolution magic. Huzzah! Oh, and Tia went back to being a pervert. Because of course she did. But please, leave the all down below. Watching this episode, what do you think of the inverted emotions? Who's your favorite here? Whose inverted emotions were your favorite? I mean, for me, Tio's thing wasn't even that her emotions were inverted either. It was more just the fact that she had to stay focused and calm and cool and collected to avoid her emotions, or to avoid, giving in to her emotions. She had to be a true dragonborn. She had to, follow their creed perfectly. So I love that about her. Koki looked at Hajime with something akin to worship and basically said, oh, let's just, not fight at all and Hajime will protect us. Because of course he did. God, I love it. Again, I really, really want to see Koki to reflect on those feelings for a good long while and be like, okay, I said all of that, didn't I? God dang it, god dang it, god dang it. Why can't I just die? Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then we ended with evolution magic, which, like I said, the best possible magic for everybody here. There's no issue with compatibility. It can, literally improve everyone. It can make everyone stronger. In fact, it's something else I forgot. It's not even just, power that can make stronger. In one of the side stories, they actually use it on Yui to make her feelings for Hajime stronger. And it's terrifying. It is genuinely terrifying what she becomes. Seriously. Alright, please link all this down below. And until next time, peace!